Hello everyone! Welcome back to another banner reaction. I'm DTM as always, and I've brought along with me a returning guest. Why don't you introduce yourself, Oblivion Knight?
Hey everyone, it's Oblivion. I'm glad to be back, and I'm pretty excited for this banner. I'm hoping it's something good.
Do you have any hopes or wishes of what you want to see for this legendary banner?
Pretty sure it's supposed to be win season, so I'm hoping for like Soth or Soren or Alencia. If it's Alencia, I'm gonna freak out. If it's the other two, I'll be happy, but I won't freak out.
I would love if it's an Alencia legendary choice. I honestly have no idea what to expect from this banner though. Like, I've been dreaming of a Xander for so long, but it's just never been here. So I think I've given up on all hope at this point.
I'm honestly surprised we haven't gotten more Fates legendaries, like any like Xander or Camilla or any of them.
I mean, yeah, honestly, I would have expected, like, especially with Ryoma, like Xander, the other Corrin, Camilla. Yeah, those sound like pretty obvious choices, but I don't know. IS works in mysterious ways, I guess. So
That's very true, yes.
yeah, nothing else to do but to get on with the reaction. And as always, if you like the content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, not only to my channel, but to Oblivion Knight's channel as well. Once again, the link will be in the description below. And yeah, let us begin with the reaction. Oh my god, I'm super excited.
I am too. Who is it going to be?
Oh, it's also, like, the sensor box was big. But...
Is that?
Oh, it's Myrrh! I guess this was also expected.
Yes.
Yeah. Dragon flying.
Blue dragon flying defense.
Yes.
I love Myrrh. Godly breath, defense, unity.
Darkling Guardian. That seems really interesting.
Not a B skill though, so she won't be able to score as high. Oh, she's like glowing. Whoa.
She's super golden now, apparently. I haven't played Sacred Stones, so I don't know like the plot significance of this, but it makes sense after like Legendary Fae.
Right, yeah. She's like plot relevant, but she's not like super, like she's not the highest plot relevant character.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I just know.
Very happy though.
Yeah, I just know that one meme about her asking for the orbs to be returned to her.
Please give me back my
Oh, Priam is the red one, and Joshua, yes. You were correct.
Okay, there we go.
When we talked beforehand, it is Joshua.
Yeah, Nami, okay.
Yeah. So, blue legendary, which is what we also expected in our conversation beforehand. Yeah, Myrrh, I guess, was definitely a very expected choice, especially after Legendary Fae.
Yes, thinking about that too. And I saw somebody else mention it. And I think the only legendaries we had for Sacred Stones were Erica and Ephraim, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think so, yeah.
So, I mean, that makes sense. Sacred Stones have been getting kind of like gypped lately with even with the Resplendence. There's only 3 Sacred Stone Resplendence, so it's good to see a legendary show up.
Yeah, when was the last time we had like a seasonal of Sacred Stones? Like besides, well, actually any.
I would prefer not to fight. I don't know.
There's something I must protect. Anyways,
art looks really good.
Yeah, she looks.
I really like the art.
I love the art. Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and read the preference weapon of Godly Breath?
Okay. Godly Breath accelerates special trigger cooldown count -1 if unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, inflicts attack, speed, defense, and resistance -5 on foe during that. Reduces damage from attacks during combat and from area effect specials, excluding Rokers, by 30%. A unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. And then dragon adaptive damage. Huh.
Okay. So basically, if she's in player phased or within 2 spaces, she gets basically like a 5 stat swing and just a flat 30% damage reduction. Like, it's not based off of stats or anything. And an auto double.
That's pretty similar to Spring Myrrh.
Yeah, I was about to mention.
There you go. Yeah.
Like, this is the legendary version of Spring Myrrh. At least that's what it seems to me.
I think the only difference is that I think Spring Myrrh gets 40% damage reduction. And I don't think she gets a follow-up either.
Yeah, I believe Spring Myrrh does get like 40%, as you mentioned. I can't remember if like Spring Myrrh gets anything else besides the besides like the damage reduction and probably like a +4 to all stats.
No, yeah,
I
she
can't
just gets
remember.
+5 to all stats if the foe initiates, or if their HP is 100%, and then she gets 40% damage reduction. So this is just straight better, in my opinion, pretty much. Like 10% damage reduction is kind of significant, but not to the point where I would, I'd rather have a follow up for sure.
Yeah. And in general, like, at least this is my opinion, but like inflicting penalties on the foe is better than raising stats of yourself, especially since it can help with like either like weapon triangle disadvantage or any other like unit that wants their like attack stat to be high, like Legendary Nana, for instance. Would definitely wants to like have that her attack high, so lowering that is always really
Right.
useful.
That's true.
Yeah.
Defense res unity. So this is new. How good is defense res unity, I wonder?
Um,
Like, who else would want to use this is what I'm trying to think of.
I mean, I would guess it would probably be like tanky units that don't have any other way to like neutralize penalties. But even then, I think I would prefer like either a stance skill or um maybe like a skill that also neutralizes the foe's bonus. Like, I don't know. I'm thinking from like a far save perspective. Like
Right.
distant defense 4 is really helpful. So like I think if you have a unit that like I guess has like a special fighter, quote unquote, in their preference weapon, maybe this would be useful. I'm trying to think about what unit that would be though.
Yeah, I can't think of any units who would want this. I do think it makes sense on her though, just because she does seem to be like completely focused on being a tank. Like we
Right.
haven't looked at her preference C skill obviously yet, but even from just her weapon and the dragon wall, right? That's
Right.
a lot of damage reduction. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard to kill her. She does have the. I wish they would have taken away her flying weakness, which I don't know if they have or not. We'll have to look, but I wish they would have done that. That would have been nice.
Right. Cause if they don't, like a pre-charged Crom with Deadeye can probably take her out despite color disadvantage.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's true.
yeah. Croms are a menace everywhere, so if she doesn't, that's going to be really unfortunate. But let's see if she does. I'll go ahead and read Darkling Guardian, a C skill. At the start of turn, if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants Def Res +6. Foe cannot make a follow-up attack, and Warp Bubble to unit for 1 turn. Warp Bubble. Yeah.
Oh,
Foe.
oh my gosh.
Wait, what? Foe cannot warp into spaces within 4 spaces of unit. So this is
That's
effectively
so
like Gatekeeper, right? Like Gatekeeper's
she just-
effect.
she's just better than Gatekeeper. Like,
Yeah, because
Gatekeeper fans are gonna get mad at me. But the reason why I think Gatekeeper is the worst CYL unit from that thing was because he has a preference B skill that gives this effect, which is unique until now.
right.
But other than that, he gets Obstruct, like Obstruct 4, which is decent, but you're giving up a B skill for that. And that's like a big cost opportunity. Instead,
Right.
Myrrh's only giving up a C slot and she gets other effects. So this is just really strong.
Right. And like one of the big problems with Gatekeeper, at least for me, was that even though he's like super tanky, he doesn't really like deal any damage, unfortunately.
Right, yeah.
And
He has no follow built into his kit.
right. And so he's like strictly support. And honestly, that one like unit slot is generally not worth it. But I would assume Myrrh, especially with her weapon, is going to be a very powerful unit that can be able to deal a lot of damage as well. Especially with the special trigger and the auto double that also activates during player phase, I think.
Right. I'm interested to see how fast she actually is because she does have the speed -5 on the foe,
Right.
but she does have like a guaranteed follow up attack. So I'm guessing she's not super fast. But even so, like we had this conversation where we were talking about the year of the dragon essentially, and this
Right.
is like another sign of it coming.
Exactly.
And if you can make like a raid boss Myrrh, like I've seen raid boss Grima's, right, or like other things like that, they're really scary and difficult to deal with.
Right. Like even for me, like just raid boss Noes, I struggle so hard because like I don't know, like there's at least for me, even if I have like an Alm, like there's not a lot of ways to deal with dragons, despite like at least in the teams I run. Compared to Alm, like Alm's wind sweep does not work on dragons, obviously. And wind sweep is definitely a lot more popular than whatever the other sweep does for dragons.
Water sweep.
Water sweep? Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously dragons are just super strong especially with the adaptive damage as well.
Right. This is really interesting. I really like this a lot because I've kind of been seeing this trend towards more and more dragons, and they're just making them really powerful. And this makes Ninian better too, Fallen Ninian.
Right.
And we're gonna have Brave Tiki coming soon. Like, oh man, this is really interesting. And Warp Bubble's really good because if you use this in something like Summoner Duels, that can shut off Harmonic Sonia pretty
Yeah,
much from
true.
doing anything.
Like Harmonic
What do you do against
Sonia,
that?
Fallen Lilith, even so many
Oh yeah.
units.
Oh yeah.
Ash too.
Yeah. Wow. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Jeez,
potentially
you're right.
Katria if they're relying on that Orders effect to get into range.
Right. Instead of
Yeah.
just the movement. Oh man. This also makes Harmonic Roy better because she is a blue dragon too. So he's gonna be able to really smack her.
For sure. I guess.
I like this. I like this a lot.
Yeah, I think Warp Bubble will definitely make an impact, at least in Summer's duels. I think probably. I don't. This Summer's duels rotation is interesting because obviously we have erosion, so it's hard to gauge what impacts these units have right now without erosion. But I still think she would definitely have a place. I think
she's a good thing to add to a dragon. We are getting more and more dragon team support, and she could be a centerpiece to that team, which is really cool because you already have something like Fallen Rhea who could act as a far saver. You have Ninian as a dancer. Now you have Myrrh as possibly a super tank or
or a good frontline unit.
Yeah, even that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. And she does do good against Rivalm because she is blue, so she's gonna have that advantage.
Yeah, it's definitely looking to be the year of the dragons, it seems. Oh man, this just makes me so excited to whatever Brave Tiki is going to be. IS, you better make Brave Tiki Omega busted. Otherwise, I don't know what we're paying you for.
I'm sure they will, but I'm interested to see what counters come, right?
Right.
Because we haven't seen this before, technically. This has happened in Fire Emblem Heroes. We had a generation where dragons dominated for a while because they were so free to play friendly.
Right.
And then, Dragon Slayers just came out the woodworks to kill them. So
yeah,
it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, I was never actually there for the dragon meta, so I can't exactly comment on how it was or what caused their downfall. Although I would imagine it's just the plethora of dragon effective units that just got released.
They released a ton of dragon effective. It was literally everywhere. And then Throster was kind of the big nail in the coffin where she just came and kind of shut it down.
Yeah, that would definitely, especially at the time, Thrasier was definitely the menace of Anima season.
She was super powerful, and she was one of the first defense mythics that was actually worth running on a team because she actually had the power.
Right.
All the other defense mythics before it was Yoon and Duma, and you're okay, I'll fit them on the team, but they're not doing much. But Throster was actually carrying her weight and more.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, the defense mythics in the early seasons definitely were not that great.
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised we didn't get 3 houses something though, because there is Edelgard, both the Byleth and Claude. So I thought they would be trying to trick us, oh, look at this.
I mean, obviously Edelgard's here because she's going to win the voting gauntlet that's coming up. Just putting it I'm on
Team Feathers.
I'm pretty actually no, Edelgard's definitely not Team Feathers. Never mind. I was trying to bait you.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, overall, do you have any thoughts on this banner overall? Do you plan on summoning on this banner, or just going to save orbs for potential summer or Three Hopes stuff?
I'll definitely be summoning. I was almost rolling on the CYL rerun, but then I was I'm gonna wait for this. And it has Ascended Joshua, who I adore, and then Myrrh, who I also adore, and so and Sheeta. So there's just no way I'm gonna pass on this.
Yeah, that's 3 units on this banner. Yeah, that's a good sign to summon. Definitely. As for me, go ahead. You can finish.
I was just thinking, I think it's decent value. I have to look at it, but you do get a wind. What legendary is Sheeta? Water? No.
Sheeta is water, I believe.
So you can have a wind core, water core, and then there's Byleth as well. So that's pretty good for if you need a legendary core right there on blue.
Byleth, female Byleth is also wind, right? So
yeah, so
that's double wind. Good.
Yeah, that's really, really good.
I'm not entirely sure if I'm too fond of like the double share because I mean, at least for I think most players, it's only realistic to commit to one legendary per season. But I mean, I guess it's never a bad sign to start on that double for the optimal scoring in arena. I don't know, arena's just been like so inflated these days with the
Yeah.
scoring. It's been kind of
Yeah, for me, like
ridiculous.
I need double legendary to stay in tier 21. So like
Yeah. So
having two of them is really good.
yeah, probably worth the investment in that case. But yeah, obviously blue is the standout. What does red have? Oh, red has nothing.
Red is worst. I think red's the worst color by far.
Oh, by far. Like Priam and oh yes, who was
Namey.
Nemi? Yeah. Like
Yeah.
what do they have? What like in terms of fodder?
They'll
Like
follow up and something else. I can't
I mean,
remember.
no follow up's good, but we have so many sources
Yeah.
for no follow up these days.
Yeah.
And as much as
Personally,
yeah,
I think it's blue, then colorless, then green, maybe. Actually, green's really good.
yeah.
Green's not as good for me, but green's really good. So maybe it's blue, green, then colorless.
I mean, green has a fire. I believe it's water and a light. So that's actually a really good share for someone who is into ether raids and also is trying to start out their arena core as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both really, Violet is an amazing
Yeah.
unit, and so is Dagger for sure.
Yeah. And colorless, like, there's Bramimon, but I don't think you really need merges on Bramimon. Joshua is
Yeah.
cool for the Ascended, but again, unless you're like plus 10ing him, I don't think you need merges.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'd agree. Blue, then green, then colorless, and there's no question. Red is absolute.
Yeah,
There's
red's
nothing
not
there.
great.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, super interesting unit. I am actually super hyped about this. I can't wait to see Warp Bubble in action, especially since I believe that is also a supportive effect if we go back to the weapon description.
Is it just on her and other people's too?
Oh, never mind. It's just on the unit. Okay, not as good as
Okay.
I thought, but still good
Still,
overall.
yeah.
Again, yeah, just copying Gatekeeper and putting him into the dust, unfortunately. I guess this is what...
Yeah, he's
Yeah. Go ahead.
he's gonna need that refined now.
Oh boy, CYL4 refined. Oh, wait,
Oh my gosh.
it's coming.
CYL.
That just reminds me. Yeah. CYL5
I'm
is
very
next
excited
year.
for that. Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah. Overall, any final thoughts on Myrrh as a unit?
I think she's gonna be pretty solid. I don't know, in arena she might struggle actually a little bit just because there are some like dragon effective and like kind of like ways to get past that damage
Right.
reduction. But even so, I think she's gonna be a really good unit, especially in things like summoner duels. Like the dragon meta is here; it's in full swing, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
For sure. Yeah, I think I agree. Like, I don't think Darkling Guardian's that good on Arena since there's not a lot of warping shenanigans. Honestly, this feels really heavily done. Like, Myrrh feels really designed for Summoner's Duels in mind. And I guess that makes sense since that is the mode they're pivoting towards. And yeah, I think Myrrh would be a very solid unit there as well. And yeah, honestly, overall, super really happy about this. Like, I'm just gonna go back to the art. It looks so good. I love this art so much.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I don't know who that artist is though, but I'm not very good with names, so
Yeah,
I'm
same.
not sure.
Going to go on the wiki after this and just take a look at that. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and thank you, Oblivion Knight, for reacting with me, as always.
I'm glad to be here every time. It's always fun.
It definitely is. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that jazz, not only to my channel, but to Oblivion Knight's channel as well. Once again, the I cannot speak today. The link will be in the description down below. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and see you all next time. Bye, everyone!
Bye.